Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Capricorn. And our card tonight is the Hermit. Okay, and let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. My goodness, it just started raining outside. I can hear it. It sounds beautiful. And we're in the new moon. I just got an alert that we're finally in the 100% zone of the new moon. And boy, does it affect me. My goodness. The full moon, definitely. The new moon, so much more. Okay, so this one's interesting. I'm seeing this as kind of a person here, okay? Almost like they're holding on to, maybe holding a bird who's eating out of their hand, okay? But then we have this kind of long shadow, and you can see it looks like a monster up here, arms out, the face up here, and immediately I'm thinking like, okay, so this is like a person in your life who I feel like they like came in almost like they had something to teach you, or the way that you connected, it felt like this, you know, this very enlightened being, this very open and interesting, maybe even kind of clairvoyant. They're talking about things that are super interesting. Maybe not many other people in your life know anything about these things. You connected, but there's just something about them where it's like their shadow is profound, right? And if you don't know what the shadow is in the Jungian sense, the place where we kind of put the things that we don't like about ourselves, or that we can't necessarily accept about ourselves. Things that, you know, maybe behaviors or proclivities or things that we're drawn to. You know, I think one of the best examples is, you know, maybe in the front of your being, right? In the front of your consciousness, you're a pacifist, right? You're somebody who does not like, I'm trying to use a different word besides the V word, fighting or conflict, right? Physical conflict, that's what we'll say. So then at some point in your life, right, something happens and you go into a rage. You go into these like thinkings of, yes, I would just absolutely, you know, whatever, this guy or gal or whoever, right? And it's so repulsing to you. It's not something that you even want to think about. Like, I can't believe that, you know, I'm just going to shove that down. I'm not going to think about it ever again. That was just one moment. Well, then it happens or it comes up and You know, and really, if you look at it, this has happened before. You felt this way. Maybe you've even gotten into a tussle or two. Maybe you have been the, you know, the one that starts the whole thing. But we put it into the shadow, and it goes there, and it lives there in the dark, damp place, and it grows like a mold, right? Out of control. And one day that thing will come into your life through you, through some other things, the way that you view the world, whatever it is. Okay. We've all met people that have really profound shadow stuff going on. A lot of, I mean, just, it's chaos. It's like a darkness surrounds them, right? And also, they're usually people who will not take responsibility for their bad behavior, or, you know, their idea of the world, of what is happening, is very narrow, very dogmatic. They overgeneralize. It's black and white thinking, this kind of thing. So I feel like this is a person, and I keep seeing it as a big E too. So I wonder if they have an E name, right? Or there's a prominent E in their name. And yeah, I feel like you have noted this energy, and you've seen, maybe there was an incident, there was some kind of, you know, thing that came up. I don't, you know, I'm not saying that they are prone to this physical conflict or anything like that, but it could be whatever it is, whatever is unsavory about them, or makes them feel kind of unsafe, or somebody who is not to be trusted. I think that you have witnessed it firsthand, and it feels recently. Now we have the Hermit card. I think this is a big reason why you feel like, okay, I stuck my neck out here. I tried to relate to somebody. I tried to kind of be close with somebody, and I'm seeing exactly why I don't necessarily like to be around people. Or, you know, get to know people too closely, or invite them into my personal life, which I get. I am also a Capricorn rising ascendant, so I fully have that energy as well. That's where I get, like, I'm a Virgo, and but a very introverted Virgo, and I'm the same way. I'm very, very, well, even my husband, you know, who is, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot, my husband Paul over there, amazing tarot reader, go check him out. He's a solitary person. He's a Cancer, so he's like really solitary, but even he's like, you are, sometimes, like, I'm too paranoid about people, I think. But it's my life experience has led me there. I try to trust people widely, but if you come into my personal life, you have already had to fully show me that you are a trustworthy person, especially because of my daughter, right? But, you know, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. And that's that Capricorn energy anyway. So you understand. Now let's keep going. I'm seeing up here we have it looks like a little puppy. Looks like a kind of a little chihuahua, right? And then we have what looks like a bird who is holding some kind of, it looks like maybe a mushroom or something. And we have an arrow pointing down. We also have a lightning bolt here, okay? And, oh my goodness, I was itchy. Ooh. Okay. And, okay, so we have the lightning bolt. Where are you? Right there. And then we have a koi fish, or a little, yeah, like a koi fish there. Koi fish, amazing symbol to see. Longevity. Good health, prosperity. We actually have another one right here. So I do believe financial things pretty solid right now. Okay, nothing to complain about too much. Now with that little puppy, that little dog, we have that beautiful bird. It almost looks like a vulture. It reminds me of the turkey vultures we have around here. It looks like kind of offering this sacrament to the dog. So I feel like this is almost, it does feel like some kind of spirit guide or some kind of, intelligence. And I feel like this is a real kind of friendly encounter. It's not scary, and it's not brought up because of some big tragedy, right? So often in our lives, we have these very spiritual experiences because we have had a great loss or some kind of tower moment. Maybe we've gone through a rite of passage, but that was not necessarily very easy. It might have been even kind of traumatic. Things like childbirth, having a baby. As beautiful as these things are, they can be quite traumatic, and it's a huge shift, by the way. So it's, that in itself, the sleep deprivation and everything else, that's difficult. So we have, this feels like a kinship. And with the dog, it looks like it's very playful. The dog to me always represents loyalty. Okay, being, right there with you. So I feel like, this is a moment where the universe is really talking to you. And I feel like you might even have, like a almost religious experience or some kind of revelation, a dream, a vision. You might be partaking in plant medicine, with the mushroom there. Going on a journey of some kind. Now, I don't advocate that, but, I don't judge. Just be mindful, be careful. And so, I do feel that there is this opening happening, okay? Some kind of, and I feel like this is so connected. Having this person kind of in your life that you see, like, what really can happen to people. I mean, it just, sometimes it's, you have empathy, you have compassion, but you can't necessarily always engage it, right? I think that it's important for us to have boundaries with people. We all want to help each other, at least most of us do. But we have to understand that not all of this is for us to do. It's not our work always. And honestly, sometimes it can be quite detrimental to us, to our life, quite literally to our life, bringing people into our lives, that are unwell in whatever way, and or dangerous or predatory or whatever. And so we have to be very discerning, and also remember it's okay to protect ourselves. It's okay to have those boundaries. It's okay to say, I can't take this on. I don't have the bandwidth for this. Okay. But then also having the space to have this kind of, like visionary moment, this revelation. It all makes sense to me. When we have like space in our life and we clear it out, there's room. There's room for something else. Now, it's not always going to be a spiritual journey, but sometimes, it is. And so, I think this is an important time for you. Excuse me, I need a drink again. This is my last reading of the night. My throat is just starting to give out again. So, let's see. What else did we have? We have the Oh yes, we have the arrow and the lightning bolt there. So yeah, this energy, wand energy, having that kind of the fires of life, that electrical current that kind of enlivens all things. Now, we also have, it looks like the Three of Cups. So abundance, okay? Emotional abundance, and with that kind of wand energy, that makes sense to me. It really, the passion meeting the emotional, like a fertile emotional water, right? Just waiting for life to kind of be introduced to it. And yeah, I do. I feel like this is a place where a lot of interesting creative processes begin. Now we got to find some earth in there, right? A little bit of earth would really go a long way in this situation. And I feel like this is a really beautiful time for you, Capricorn. Not easy always, but it is a blessing. It's a blessing that you, are going to stand up for yourself, right? And hopefully uphold those boundaries that feel right. Now, we have this face, and you can see the eye, tears. It looks like hair kind of swept over. I almost am imagining like an 80s goth person, or like the thousands, like emo kind of like side swoop type of deal. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. My niece is in her teens, and I guess apparently like that whole emo movement is like back in style now. And she's always like, oh, you were emo, weren't you, Auntie? And I'm like, no, I was not. I was too old to be emo. But it always makes me laugh to myself because, like, listen, nothing against emo. I love some of the emo music so much. But they were younger than me. I was a little bit older, you know, at least 5 or so years older. And so those are like, you know, when you're a kid, teenager, you think, oh, somebody who's 5 years younger or 10 years younger, that's like they're like a child, right? And so, I have that, like, I'm like, I gotta get rid of that kind of judginess. Like, I was not emo, dude. Don't even say that about me. But it is funny that everything continues to like go in these loops of you know, style. Now I think about when I was like in junior high, I remember like the bell bottoms were getting back in, and also corduroy pants. And I remember like my mom, I guess I was like in 6th grade. My mom died when I was in 6th grade. But around that time, yes, my cousin who was older, she would wear that stuff. And I remember wanting bell bottoms so bad. And, you know, my uncles and my mom and older people in my life were like, ugh, why would you want to go back to like the 60s and 70s style? And I thought it was so cool. I was like, I want some bell bottoms. But yeah, now I'm that age and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why that style is coming back. But it is. And so anyways, I'm seeing this, and maybe you are emo. Please don't be upset if I was, you know, if I stepped on any toes here. But I do feel like this is almost kind of, I don't know, is this it feels like somebody who, maybe it was a friend, maybe this is like a grandchild or one of your children. They were going through a phase, or maybe they still are into it. I don't know. But I feel like there was a lot of, I almost like imagine that they had a really rough time. Maybe it was like bullying, maybe it was mental health stuff, maybe it was both. And I feel like I don't know that they're I don't think that they're transitioned. I mean, I hope not, because this seems like they would be young, right? But I do feel there is a sense of recalling and remembering how devastating that time period was. Now, I have a daughter who's 4, and I think about how hard it was to be a teenager, and I don't know how I'm gonna. I hope to gosh that she's not going to go through that kind of stuff. It seems so heartbreaking. Even now, when she like hurts herself, falls, or, I don't know, like skins her knee or whatever, my whole soul is like weeping with her. So I look at this. Oh, weird. Look, I'm reading it like this. Excuse me, the face being like this and the hair's right here. But even holding it this way, there's another face there. And I was looking at this, and I'm like, oh, there's another face. Now I can barely see it seems like now 2 people. Yeah, weird. Now I'm trying to think, what is going on here? Because this person looks like they're crying too. So we have 55, we have a T, and we have 55 right here. I don't know if this is 2 separate people or if this is the same person at different ages. But I just feel like I can't get past this feeling of depression. Maybe even the Hermit energy. I think maybe this is something that is kind of maybe a family trait. Maybe you all are pretty solitary people. But this really, it feels like it was something, and it continues maybe to be, something that was it's hard to know how to help somebody like that. And even if they get through it, or, it gets stabilized anyways, still feeling so powerless. And I feel like that's the thing. There's this feeling of powerlessness and wanting to be able to do more, wanting to be able to fix this thing. And not having maybe we can't fix people. That's the first thing, is we can't save people. Even when we really want to, we can help them find the resources and, get help and all this kind of thing, but we can't fix the thing, right? And so I feel like this is something that is one of the great terrors of your life. I feel like this is like the thing that you fear. You wake up worried about it, and it maybe even happened many years ago. It just feels it's such a difficult. It feels very difficult. But I think you understand, because I think that you maybe have similar experience with your own life, in your own life. Maybe you have melancholy, depressions kind of thing. I don't know. I don't have any resolution to this one, except for they're right on your mind. They feel like it feels like it's right there with you, this feeling. So, here's where I always do my thing. If you feel like, it's a lot, please talk to somebody. Even if it doesn't feel like that much, but it's still on your mind a lot, find your support person, your person you trust. If you have a therapist, a counselor, family member, whoever, please make sure that you are expressing yourself. Don't bottle it up. I know we have that Hermit energy, but don't bottle it up, okay? These are the kind of things that really they torment us. And we have to sometimes, have extra support. Even if we're not the ones going through the thing, right? We're part of the situation. We might be the support person for the person going through it, but we also need support. Okay, so make sure that you are talking to somebody, okay? Okay, and I'm going to pour this here. Now we have a flower. Oh, look at that. It looks beautiful. I almost want to say it reminds me of something like an iris that's about to unfurl. I was looking at drawings of flowers from like this, I don't know, it was like the 1700s. I was like, man, these are pretty racy, these pictures of the irises. They're all curly and fleshy looking and beautiful. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I feel, so we have a person who's holding a fishing line and has a fish on there. So I feel like there's a sense of really retreating into the work, right? Finding some comfort in doing the things that you're really good at, you enjoy doing. And a lot of times that's whatever work you do. So kind of immersing yourself there. But I also feel like coming up here, there's going to be some enjoyment. I feel like maybe you are going to have, I don't know, some kind of little trip. Maybe it's not like a big vacation or anything, but I feel like going to some events or, here we're about to kick off the county fair season, which is always very exciting. I love going to county fairs. And, maybe just doing some stuff like that. Just going for a couple hours, going out into the world. Seeing some other faces and enjoying some terrible food. No, it's really good. But yeah, just getting out into the world and finding your way to something that speaks to you. Now that could be, maybe something like hiking or going to a movie or, I don't know, whatever people like to do these days. And so, yes, let's do our wild offering oracle cards. And I'm going to go ahead and just flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Okay, relationship. All right. I call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I needn't fear letting go of control. My needs are always abundantly met. Whew. That's powerful. I think this is one we have to remind ourselves of sometimes, especially when you've been in it for, some years. You can forget the amount of divinity that is in your chosen union. And so, we have to kind of reapply ourselves to these concepts of leaving it to the whims of the universe. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next reading is coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. So anyways, Capricorn, I'm going to go eat some dinner. I'm so hungry. My stomach was almost about to growl a few times here. And yeah, and I'm about to yawn. I'm sorry. I love you so much. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a couple days. Good night. Good night. Good night.